In episode 47, we talked with Raj Karki about using singing bowls for sound therapy. Tonight, we'll look at scientific research into whether sound can really heal you. Welcome to the Peep Podcast. I'm your host, Nicolle, and on this episode, we're looking deeper into the healing power of sound. But first, I want to take a moment to thank a few librarians. You see, every October for the past decade, I've participated in the Haunted Carolina program for Wake County Public Libraries. And in recent years, I've also been able to do a program for the teens at the Oberlin Road Library in Raleigh-NC's Village District. This week, I'm speaking with teens at North Regional, and next month, I'm scheduled for the teens program at Northeast Regional, and I'll be at Southeast Regional Library in June. All of these are Wake County Public Libraries in Wake County, North Carolina, USA. Plus, my most recent 3 books, Please Don't Call Me Psychic, The Tritium Hypothesis, and The Dark Season, are all available at the libraries. It's all very exciting. I grew up loving visits to the library, and I always went straight to the New Age or Unexplained section. So to be able to give back to the community in this way really makes me feel good. Thanks to the Wake County librarians who have been so supportive and encouraging over the years. I truly appreciate it. And speaking of books, I'm currently working on my first fantasy myth novel. I actually started writing it back in 2010, and it's been calling me to finish it. The process is slow going because that initial part that's already written was started in handwritten journals, and I am now starting by transcribing them to Word. Then I have to actually finish writing it. I'd like to complete it and have it to an editor before the end of the year, so I'm going to take a short hiatus from the podcast. If you're a long-time listener, you know I need to do this every so often, and this is one of those times. I will not publish a show on March 15th, which would be my next normal drop date. So after this episode, the next one will be released on March 29th, 2023. Please don't unfollow me. I promise I will return. Okay, now back to the topic of this episode. Sound therapy in its many forms. From cat purrs to Tibetan singing bowls, people across cultures for thousands of years have claimed that certain sounds have healing properties. I mean, you've heard the old saying, music soothes the savage beast, right? Well, there seems to be something to that. Let's look at some recent research into how different sounds may be able to positively affect our well-being. Let's start with a popular one that is still somewhat controversial: binaural beats. Binaural beats are created by 2 sounds played at the same time at slightly different frequencies. For example, 1200 Hz and 1210 Hz. Our brain hears both sounds and can also pick up on that 10 Hz difference, which is called the binaural beat. Different beats can create different effects in the brain, including inducing brain waves similar to those experienced during REM sleep. You know, that time of night when you're actually dreaming. Many small studies have claimed that binaural beats can reduce anxiety and enhance meditation. But there's no consensus on those claims yet. The studies were small, the results were self-reported and subjective, and the researchers didn't account for other potential influences. However, many people swear by them, and you can find recordings on YouTube if you want to try them for yourself. Just be sure to use good quality stereo headphones, because the binaural beat requires both original tones to travel through your auditory system, one in each ear, to be detected. If you do try it for yourself, visit the Facebook group and let us know how it went. If you listened to episode 47, you met Raj Karki, a meditation expert who uses Tibetan singing bowls for sound baths in his healing practice. While practitioners and clients make similar claims to those who use binaural beats, is there scientific evidence to back the bowls? A study published in 2016 titled Effects of Singing Bowl Sound Meditation on Mood, Tension, and Well-Being, an Observational Study, by Tamara Goldsby, Michael Goldsby, Mary McWalters, and Paul Mills in the Journal of Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine, shared the results of a small, non-randomized observational study that added to the mounting research into the use of singing bowls for healing. The study abstract summarizes its findings as follows, and I quote, "Poor mood and elevated anxiety are linked to increased incidence of disease. This study examined the effects of sound meditation, specifically Tibetan singing bowl meditation, on mood, anxiety, pain, and spiritual well-being. 62 women and men, with a mean age of 49.7 years, participated. As compared with pre-meditation, following the sound meditation, participants reported significantly less tension, anger, fatigue, and depressed mood. Additionally, participants who were previously naive to this type of meditation experienced a significantly greater reduction in tension compared with participants experienced in this meditation. Feeling of spiritual well-being significantly increased across all participants. Tibetan singing bowl meditation may be a feasible, low-cost, low-technology intervention for reducing feelings of tension, anxiety, and depression, and increasing spiritual well-being. This meditation type may be especially useful in decreasing tension in individuals who have not previously practiced this form of meditation." End quote. While this study was also small and the researchers admit they can't yet explain why the singing bowls work, they noted that binaural beats created during a singing bowl sound bath might be a factor. They also quoted other similarly focused studies that showed similar results. Moving on to low-frequency sound stimulation, or LFSS, and its potential benefits for fibromyalgia sufferers. This one really caught my attention. With quite a few friends who deal with the symptoms of fibromyalgia daily, I'd love to see anything that can reduce their pain, fatigue, mental fog, and other symptoms. A study titled The Effect of Low-Frequency Sound Stimulation on Patients with Fibromyalgia, a Clinical Study, published in the journal Pain Research and Management in 2015, shared results that showed promise. The LFSS they used was 40 Hz. 19 female participants received 2 treatments per week over 5 weeks for a total of 10 treatments each. All reported significant improvement in pain, sleep quality, and cervical muscle range of motion. Some even were able to stop taking their medication temporarily. While the 10 treatments were not a cure and symptoms eventually returned for most participants in 10 to 14 days, the data is encouraging. Because this, too, was a small study, more research is needed. And last but not least, let's talk about cat purrs. If you're a cat's human, like I am, you know how soothing those purrs can be. Petting your furry companion, whether feline or canine, has been shown to improve blood pressure and reduce stress. But cats have the paw up on dogs. We may not understand the mechanism of the soft vibration cats make, but the evidence is pretty solid. Here, I'm going to quote an article that quotes a study because I had a little difficulty finding the original research. An article was published in Orthopedics This Week on June 22nd, 2018 by author B.W. Young, and I am using their initials so I don't mispronounce their name horribly, titled, "Is There Power in a Cat's Purr?" In this article, Professor Leslie A. Lyons, Ph.D., principal investigator in the Feline Genetics Laboratory, part of the Department of Veterinary Medicine and Surgery in the University of Missouri College of Veterinary Medicine, was interviewed about the potential benefits of cat purrs. This article quotes her as saying the following: "Recent research on frequencies that promote bone growth, fractured healing, pain relief, and relief of breathlessness and inflammation show that frequencies between 20 Hz and 150 Hz are healing frequencies. All cat species have purr frequencies between 20 Hz and 150 Hz, with the exception of the cheetah. The cheetah purrs at 25, 50, 100, 125, and 150 Hz. This corresponds exactly with the best healing frequencies." The article goes on to say, Lyons notes that the purring of a cat lowers stress. Petting a purring cat has a calming effect. It decreases the symptoms of difficulty in breathing in cats and humans. It also lowers blood pressure and reduces the risk of heart disease. Cat owners have 40% less risk of having a heart attack. End quote. So, here's one more reason to be a cat lover. There are many other types of sound healing that I didn't go into today, including the use of a didgeridoo, which goes back thousands of years, and other musical instruments. The idea behind most of the sound healing that I have read about is either the frequencies of the sound or the beats, the rhythm. So if you want to go down many of the rabbit holes I went down, please do. As always, links to the quoted articles and studies will be in the show notes, so you can read more details for yourself and follow those interesting little bunny trails. Thanks for listening. If you are interested in sharing your paranormal stories with us, or if you have an idea for an episode topic, please reach out through the contact form at peeppodcast.com. That's PEEP podcast.com. Remember, that stands for People Experiencing Everyday Paranormal. While you're there, sign up for my newsletter to keep up with the podcast and all my creative and energetic endeavors, including writing. I only email it once or twice a month, max. You'll receive briefs on recent episodes, information on upcoming appearances, news, and some additional fun stuff. For example, in December, I randomly drew the name of a subscriber to win signed copies of my 3 most recent books. If you enjoy the podcast, please give it some rating love on your favorite podcast app, share it with friends, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Doing so will help the podcast be found by others. A huge thank you to everyone who has given the show some love. I truly appreciate it. No matter how you support the show, listening, telling others about it, financial support through the donate button on the website, or any other way, I absolutely appreciate your being here. Thanks again for listening. Stay safe and be well.